everybody, it's Bok. I hope you're all having a great day. We just got the new units dropped in the archive, so we can finally have a look and see what the stats are like, and also have a look at some of the numbers and what the actual debuffs do, because we didn't know what Torpor was. So I've already had a little look at them so that I could kind of gauge before I did this video. We are going to be pulling and testing them live on stream as soon as they drop, so if anybody want to come by for that, you're more than welcome. The link will be in the description to my Twitch if you want to have a look, but let's give you my initial thoughts and impressions. I'm going to start with Lumiwarden Diting, hopefully saying that right, probably butchering it. I butcher so many names in this game, but let's just crack into it. We're going to have a look at the dupes first. I'll just very quickly go over this. So you've got your standard stuff on the left side, you've got your increased defense, attack, and HP, and then you've got your 10%, 10%. Now, I would say, if you are pulling for dupes, you do not have to. But if you are pulling for dupes, I would say probably is most valuable outside of the C5 is the C2. You want to get that F accuracy on him. You don't really care about the effect resistance, let's be honest. So you want to go for that one if you are pulling for dupes. Reason being, his debuffs are actually super powerful, and that little bit of extra accuracy could make all the difference in between you landing it and not landing it. Now, let's get into it. The S3, Retribution, what a name. This is the final reckoning. The Lumiwarden Diting deals 2 hits of damage equal to 170% of his own defense to all enemies. Each hit with a 50% chance to inflict turn 2 speed down and torpor, while applying Sanctling to all allies for 3 turns. Now, we finally found out what torpor does. Unable to gain turn meter effects. This is a super valuable debuff. You can kind of think of it as like almost like a pseudo freeze without actually hard CCing them, if that makes sense. Any sense? Any sense? But yeah, I think this is going to be super valuable in both turn 1 and turn 2. Because if you think of it like this, in a CC cleave draft, say for example you actually have Diting going first, not second. You have him going before your stripper, because at the moment you have things like Aya with Reaper and all that running around. You go first with him, you apply the torpor, and then you can strip and CC everybody. And they're not going to cut you, assuming you're fast enough. But I think there is a lot of mileage out of this. It's going to be super useful into Fushu, Plume, Aya, anybody on Reaper steps, Lily, the list goes on. Basically kills Strive if he's in the game. So I might need to rethink my Holden build after farming for an artisan for like 2 months, but it is what it is. And now Sanctling. Sanctling, I think, has a lot of value. So each time damage is taken, blocks damage equal to 110% of Lumiwarden Diting's defense, reducing damage taken to a minimum of 20% of the original damage. Now, I just showed what Silence can do with damage reduction when you pair it with Red Chiaki. Can you imagine how this is going to look? You might actually just take no damage. Need to test this, could be super broken. You could stack things with damage reduction like your Red Chiaki, your Silence, and him, and then just never take any damage. It's going to be interesting seeing how strong this is, but initial impressions, I think this ability has so much value in both turn 1 and turn 2. Now, the S2. Voltaic Shear. The Thunder of Judgment spares no sin. The Lumiwarden Diting deals 3 hits of damage equal to 160% of his own defense to a single enemy, each hit with a 30% chance to decrease the target's turn meter by 35% and inflict a 2-turn taunt. Now, paired with the S3, this is so strong. Assuming you've got torpor landed on the unit, you're basically sending them back and not letting them have a turn for a couple of turns if you land the taunt, because they're just going to be S1ing into you. Now, landing taunt, I think, increases the value of strive on him quite a bit, because if you land a taunt, they're going to hit you, automatically going to push him up. So there is that. Also, 2-turn taunt is kinda disgusting. 1-turn taunt would have been strong enough, but 2-turn is game winning. If you hit the right unit with it and they can't get rid of it, you could just win the game off that. Could also be very useful in CC. So say for example, the Ling Lo gets out a CC, you just land the taunt, and now she can only S1. Now, his S1, Gleamwaker. Attack. What is with these first bits? The Lumiwarden Diting charges forward, dealing damage equal to 360% of his own defense to a single enemy, with a 25% chance to extend all Animus skill cooldowns by 1 turn. Reduces turn meter reduction effect on all allies by 80%. So this is just a passive. So in terms of the passive, this is another thing for Silence to be good into. So if you do want to run like a CC type draft against him, Silence value goes up massively. But being able to increase skill cooldowns on all skill cooldowns, it's not even just one skill cooldown by a random one, is super good. Which is why I was saying you want to have F accuracy on him. So, because you need to land this torpor, the speed down's nice, but the torpor is the main pull from the S3. 2-turn taunt gives me Casio vibes from season 0 with the 2-turn sleep. In some ways, it might actually be better if you're running him with strive, because you're getting hit and then it's pushing you as well. And then obviously you've got the cooldown reduction. We all know how annoying it is when you you get S3'd by Lily and it stops you from doing anything next turn because she's reset your cooldowns. Now imagine this on a skill 1 where you can target the unit that you want it to happen to, which is why F accuracy is going to be so valuable on him. There is going to be a lot of ways to build this guy, which I love. I love when units have multiple different builds and not everybody's just running the same thing. So, like I say, you'll be able to run him fast in like a CC cleave type draft. I actually think he skyrockets the value of Mio in CC cleave type drafts because you push them back, they're not... Land the torpor, push them back, they're not able to boost back up. You've got time, you're chilling. However, if on the other side, if you get him against a Mio value goes to the floor, right? So in turn 1, you're probably going to want to run him fast with a lot of FAC. And in turn 2, there's a lot of options. You can run him fast with FAC. You could even just run him on a more supportive type build where you just stack defense and try and max out the Sanctolin so that you have as much reduced damage as possible. You could run him on Jackal, you could run him on Artisan, pair him with Aya. There's a lot of options. You could run him on Amber. I know a lot of people love Amber, but I think over the next few days we're going to see some interesting builds with him. So looking forward to testing him. Now we'll go into the other unit. Nevette. Okay, so in her prowess, we're getting the exact same. Again, don't care about F-res here, let's be honest. So outside of the C5, C2 the most valuable one, I would say. Because she wants F accuracy as well. However, I would say you don't need to cap out F accuracy on her, because she does actually have something built in, but we'll get to that. So, the S3, Frostcrow. The suffering of this body has been redeemed.